Okay, welcome back to the studio again. We've been working on a value, part of my value painting. We're trying to set it up into color. And while you were gone, I worked a little. We worked it to a point, then I worked it maybe for about a half an hour, a little bit further into it. But today, what we're going to do, I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Called a. You can make it a tonal. We're going to put color in just what they call basic color. If you see a green, pick a green, put it in. You see a yellow, put a yellow in. You see a red, put a red in. You're not doing a lot of mixing right now. You can. And if you do it, if you go into more mixing, it's called a tonal. But today we're going to set this up, and it's still setting your painting up for the paint, to paint on it. We haven't got into what we call the painting part of it yet. We got into the reconstruction a little bit. I may reconstruct a little bit more into the mountains here, maybe not. But I did reconstruct into the barn. Okay, what's the darkest color you see here? Well, basically it's a green, so just take a green, a little bit of green, put it down here. Now don't use too much of it. Take that green, I may make it a little darker by adding a little bit of ultramarine to it. Just a little bit darker. Now scummel in the green where you see all the greens. Now remember, we're looking at values, all the darks first. Then you go to the middle values. Watch what will happen. This thing will start coming to life after a while. It's green, just basic color. That's all it is. It's called local color. Dark green in there. And here again, don't go. I could go darker. Watch. But we're not going to go that dark. You can always go darker later. If you go darker right away, you've already told your statement. You've already told the punchline of the joke. Let's not do that yet. Okay, let's finish off with the darks. All the dark color greens that we see, I'm going to put them in right now. Okay, a little bit of green, dark going through there. Very dark right in there. I have a lot of fun. This is if you want to go further into a tonal. In my book, I explain how to do that. But right now, like I said, we're just going to put in a local color. But this is a lot of fun, guys. You know, a whole lot of fun doing it and enjoy it. Now basically, this scene, let me stop just a minute. Basically, this scene here, we've got it on the digital viewer here, and it just went off our picture. Let me see if I can find it again real quick. There it is there. Now, I use these viewers. They're a lot of fun. But they expand your view of what you're painting. You can blow this up. You can make it sit for about an hour before it goes back. You can also go here. Now, if we want to get a closer view of the barn, you can go 4 times in this one. There may be some of these that even go more. Let's go and expand that, show you what we just did here. You see how close I can get into these mountains. Look at back through here, this light section right here, which is right in here, okay? Here's the light on the trees, which is right across here. So there's our barn. You see, I can see the barn with a whole lot more detail. You can see more depth in these kind of things than you can see in a picture. A picture is flat. It flattens right out. You don't see that depth. Here I can see more depth. I see more colors, beautiful purples and blues and oranges. And you see them in the picture, but not as great. Okay. Let's go back to putting our local color in here. Okay. Let's make that a little darker right there. Now right back here, it's kind of a dark green right in there. Okay. Now there's a little kind of a darkest color green here. Okay. A little dark in here. Let me get a little stiffer brush here. It's better if you use a brush that's fairly stiff. And this is one that started out like this, it ended up like this. But it's okay because it gets a little bit stiffer for doing a tonal. Okay, what's the next color we see? Well, I see a kind of a bluish green in here. Take a little bit of that blue, add a little blue to it. A little bit of the blue. Put a little bit of white into it, see what happens here. Let's clean that brush a little bit. I think I got a wrong color in there, but it's okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a little bit more blue. Already got some of that blue in there. Bluish green. Remember, as your mountains go further back, the green gets less intense. The way you make a green less intense, you add a little bit of red to it, and that'll make it, let it go. But we're not getting ready to do that yet. We're just setting up local color. Now let's do a little bit of the dark right in here. It's kind of a deep, I don't use black, but later on I'll show you. I use a Payne's Gray. Let me show you what Payne's Gray does. If you put that Payne's Gray here, this is the only thing I use it for. You take a yellow to the Payne's Gray, makes the most beautiful greens. Okay, so that shows you another shade of green you got to play with right here. See it? But we have a very dark right here in the cabin. Okay, let's just take a alizarin, add it to the blue a little bit, make a very deep color. Scumble that color in. It's a little bit too dark right now. A little bit wet, but that's okay. A little dark right in there. Remember how I told you, if you want to make a beautiful gray, take the two complements, just for a heck of it, let's just take a green, put it here. And this is the way you mix colors, by the way. Let's take let's just take this red here. It's a kind of a deep red. Put it right here. Now watch what happens if I mix these two together. Looks awful muddy, doesn't it? But watch what happens when I put white to it. Look at that beautiful gray we just made. So you can take that gray, okay? It can be a warm gray or a cool gray. And you can put it right here in your barn. Okay, see that nice gray? Now this is a little darker here, so let's go a little bit more blue in the gray. A little bit of blue, which darkens it up. Let's go right in here. Okay. Now, what's the next color we see here? Well, that red. Let's take just a basic red. Okay. Now, don't take too much of this. It can be very invasive to your colors. Let's just scumble a little bit of that red in. Just a little bit. Let's just take a little bit of that off there. Okay. Basic red. This one's got to be a little cleaner. Add a little bit of white to that one. Just a little bit. Be careful of the white. The white will make your colors a little bit too chalky if you're not careful. Let's go a little bit more red in that. That red's got a little bit of orange in it. Okay. A little bit of, look at the little orange down through here. See it? See how the thing starts coming to life? Okay. Let's go into some middle values. First middle value I see is basically into these trees here. We can even take this green we just made, a little bit light green, yellow. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit too bad. Let's make it a little bit brighter. A little brighter. These are your light. These are your middles and the lights as they go into it. The tops of the trees. You know, a lot of people make fun of Bob Ross, and I don't paint like him, but he started a lot of people painting. But one of the interesting things I was watching the program the other day that he says, tell a story about your painting. Make it into a story. I mean, people want to know, where is this? Why'd you do it? Does it still exist? Whatever. Make it interesting to them so they'll want to come back and view it and look at it, maybe buy a print from you or a painting. Okay, that's some of the color goes right through here, and that's kind of a middle down through here a little bit. Let's get a little bit more color back in the. Make sure you clean your brush really well before you go into some of the colors. Okay. Now I put my colors goes on without terps, they go on dry. Take a little bit of that, let's take a little bit of cobalt, a little white, a little cobalt. Put a little color in here. And if you notice early in the morning, if you do a lot of study on landscapes, early in the morning, as it goes back in the horizon, what do you see? You see a kind of a pinkish glow to it. And that color is here if you see it real careful. Take a little bit, just a little bit of quinacridone red, which is a good, nice pinkish color. Take a little bit of that and go in here and just put a little bit of that. You see it back here in the horizon, just a little bit. Look at that nice color. Okay, it's here. You have to look for these colors. The more you study color, the more you're going to see color. Okay. Okay, let's go back here. Clean your brush really good. And basically, that is a primary. Ultramarine is a primary. Prussian blue, stay away from Prussian blue for a primary. It's too invasive, and it's not real light fast, not unless they've changed it a whole lot. Of course, yellow, lemon yellow is a primary. Now up here, look at it, gets a little bit of golden-y color. Take a little bit of this color, add a little bit of kind of white to it, a little warm. See how warm it is up here? See it? What we're doing, we're setting our painting up here for the paint. We haven't even painted yet. We're just having fun with it, okay? Right back here, the beautiful green, kind of a lime green, okay? Right back in there. See, there's a bunch of little cows down here. You don't see them here, but if I blow this up, you can see those cows back in there, that field. Let's go just a little bit more on this, and then we're going to stop it. Let's go a little bit warmer right up here. Remember, all your warm colors and intense colors come forward. Now, we're using this same scene for several different mediums, and that is to show you what they look like in different mediums. And this is one thing you may want to do. You may like it in watercolor better than you like it in oils, or you may like it in pastels better. Every medium has a place. Some mediums work better for portraiture. You may want to use a watercolor. I like oils and I like pastels. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we can put in here right now. A little bit of color right back here. Let's just take kind of a turquoise bluish color here. Let's just put a little bit of that back through there. This goes into those mountains there. It comes up right over here. There's a little bit of it shown right up through the top here. Okay. A little bit of that in there. So many shades of green in the summer. And you have to just distinguish what green is from what green is. It's a warm green, it is a cool green. Summer has plenty of green, but there's a lot of color too. There's a lot of purples and blues and beautiful colors. And there's some purples right in here, just for an example. Let's just take a kind of a purplish color. I'll show you. Just a purple right in here. Beautiful color right in there. You can see it right here in the, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll stop this session right here. We're going to continue it later, going a little bit further. We haven't really got into the painting yet. We've just been setting up putting basic local color in. Again, my name is Dick Ensing. I live in Pigeon Forge. You can go to my website, dickensing.artist.com, or write me on the internet, dickensing@bellsouth.net. Thanks again.